Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tax Show for People Who Owe. I'm Dave.
And I'm Phil.
And today we're going to talk about our recent trip. Phil, where do we go?
To DC.
Washington, D.C., the hub of tax administration. I was excited. Were you excited?
Absolutely.
We go back there after every tax season and before the next tax season, twice a year, to meet with industry partners and more importantly, the IRS and some senators about what's actually happening in the land of tax or the world of tax as it relates to taxpayers who owe. So Phil, what were some of your takeaways from these big IRS and industry meetings in DC?
I think just one of the biggest takeaways, the alarming rate at which the number of extensions has grown over the past year, well over 50%, David. And what that means is 19 million taxpayers have yet to file their return. 19
million, that's over 10% of the actual filing population, well over, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what do you think's happening out there? What's resulting in this 19 million, or massive increase?
I think the delays in the service level of the IRS, with short staff and things of that nature, but also it goes back to people thinking that just because you don't file, you don't have to pay. But as we all know from prior episodes, the extension to file is not an extension to pay. The taxes are still due back in April, David.
You make a great point. We get called often from taxpayers who have multiple years of unfiled taxes, who have extensions filed for those years and thinking that, oh, I don't have penalties for that year.
Right.
Wrong, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what can we do? It's our obligation to educate our viewers as to what the potential downstream impacts are if they do not file by the extended deadline.
Right, so if you don't file by the extended deadline, every month is so critical because that's where the penalties really ramp up. Within the first 5 months, you're gonna be capped out on your failure to file penalty, which can be up to 22.5%.
What happens immediately on October 18th this year if you don't file?
That first day after the deadline, you're looking at that 4.5% or 5% penalty, both for failure to file and failure to pay.
You can see how this grows very, very quickly. Those of you guys may be wondering how my tax balance ballooned. This is one of the main reasons why, correct?
Absolutely, and the compounding interest doesn't help as well. Compounding daily.
Compounding daily like a credit card. So let's talk about interest and how the monetary policy recently, when the Fed raises rates, what happens to the IRS rates?
They go up just as high.
Just as high. So if you do have an extension filed for this tax season and you haven't filed yet, what should we do, Phil?
File as quick as you can, especially before the deadline.
Great advice. If you have filed an extension and you haven't filed your return, I encourage you to download our app and request help from Optima. We can get you filed up before that extension deadline to avoid those egregious penalties Phil outlined. That wraps up the show for us today, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
And remember to file.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching today. Please be sure to like
and subscribe
so you are up to date with all the information you need when you're taking on the IRS.
And as always, do something.